Good evening, high school football fans. This is High School Football America for July 28th, 2016. I'm Jeff Fisher, host of the show and founder and editor-in-chief of High School Football America and highschoolfootballamerica.com. The season is upon us. Yes, Hawaii got it all kicked off, and then today, Virginia and Alaska and some other states getting practice going around the nation, and well, they're going to be playing for real next Friday, August the 5th, in Hawaii as the regular season kicks off there, followed by Alaska. And then a bunch of other states will fall in right behind. Yes, the 2016 high school football season is here, and High School Football America is steaming full steam ahead toward Monday when we release our 2016 preseason Top 25 using our proprietary algorithm. And then we also put a little bit of an opinion in there, but we're going to be doing the national Top 25. The other 25, which are teams 26 through 50, we'll do our regional rankings next week, as well as doing the California and Southern California top 25 polls. So very, very excited. It is time to get the season underway, and we have been doing it over the last a couple of months, doing some pre-poll stuff. This week we did a story on Good Counsel out of Maryland and Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Those teams in consideration to be not only in the top 50, but probably in the top 25. Good Counsel led by Bob Milloy, a great coach in the state of Maryland, a Hall of Fame coach, one win away from 400 lifetime victories. He'll become just the 18th coach in American high school football history to reach that milestone, and we're going to talk to Bob about that and his team this year. That's pretty darn good. They've got some good starters back on both sides of the ball. That should put them into the mix to challenge DeMatha, which has won 3 straight Washington Catholic Athletic Conference titles, and Bob's going to join us to talk about that. We're also going to talk some Jersey football with Augie Hoffmann from St. Joseph Regional in Montvale, New Jersey. Big North United has changed. They've changed things up there in that part of the state. Because of all the success of the private schools, they now have a super conference. So Augie Hoffmann's going to join us and talk about what's going on in the Garden State. The Green Knights going to have a pretty good year this year. Lots of talent back, and they're also going to be out here in Southern California. I helped St. Joe's hook up with the Honor Bowl out here, which will be played Labor Day weekend at Mission Viejo High School. So a great slate of games. We're going to have Mark Soto, the founder and the organizer, on the show coming up here in a couple of weeks. But they'll be coming out here, Will St. Joe's, to play Sarah, a great program from Gardena, California. So we've got those two on the show. Plus, we go to the state of Kansas, where Steve Martin, the head coach at Northwest High School in Wichita and also the president of the Kansas High School Football Coaches Association, is going to join us about a story we put out last week where the JUCOs there, the community colleges, the 2-year programs, are looking to change the number of roster spots for out-of-school players. It jumped in 2013 from 12 to 20. Now they're trying to go from 20 to 30, and the coaches there not very happy about that. And we're going to have Steve Martin join us to talk about a possible boycott of the JUCOs. They're just trying to, do what's right, get their kids noticed out there. That's what the program was set up for. And of course, there have been some really great JUCOs through the years that have played in Kansas and various other places. I think there's about 125 junior colleges around the country at this point. Maybe the most famous lately, Cam Newton, who after he left Florida after 2 years, went and played at Blinn College in Texas before coming back into the college football FBS game. But anyway, Steve Martin will join us in just a little bit. Time to bring in all of our partners, beginning with Crossover. Hey, coaches, save yourself time and money by letting Crossover do all that grunt work for you, breaking down the game film, putting it to you in a great, easy-to-read report. Lets you do what you do best, which is coach. Go to highschoolfootballamerica.com, click on their banner ad. It'll get you a demo. Crossover with a K, crossover.com/football for your free demo. You won't be disappointed if you check out Crossover. They really have kind of hit it out of the park on what they've put together here over the last couple of years. Speaking of hitting it out of the park, that's what Echo 1612 did with their instant replay being brought to the high school sideline a couple of years ago. It was created in Oklahoma by coaches for coaches, and now they're part of the college football game. Their instant replay system is part of the Exos program. So Echo has been with us for a couple of years. Chad Cargill and company there in Oklahoma City. Great people, great to work with, great product. Echo1612.com. Click on the banner ad at High School Football America. It'll get you right to where you need to be to find out all this great technology. It gives you an edge, you know. Hey, let's face it. You're a high school football coach. You're always looking for an edge. Echo 1612 will give that to you. Also brought to you tonight by the good folks at Southern Sport. The TDI Razor, the debris inhibitor razor. We had Joey Teichert, one of the founding members, on last week. Joey talking about those spats that keep those pesky rubber pellets from field turf out of your shoes and give you that great look of spatting without the high cost of tape. Roll of tape's about $4. It also takes a lot of time. They've got 20 great colors. They've got some two-tone stuff. They got a red, white, and blue American one, which is great for Labor Day. And you can get a discount on your order when you go to their website, TDI Razor. That's with a U, R-A-Z-U-R, TDIRazor.com. Use the code HSFA to get a discount on your order. Also brought to you tonight by the good folks at ScoreStream. They will be giving you all the scores on our website throughout the 2016 season. Yep, they're loaded up. They're good. You can also have fun when you're at the game. Just download the app in the iTunes Store or Google Play, and you will be able to score along and let everybody know how your favorite team in America is doing by using ScoreStream. You can learn more by going to their website at scorestream.com. And finally, by USA Today High School Sports. Once again this year, we're partnering up together, USA Today, HSS.com, the place to go for not only football, but all kinds of high school sports throughout the year. Year-round, USA Today, HSS.com. All right, going to take our first break. When we come back, we're heading to the Garden State. Time to talk a little Jersey football with Augie Hoffmann, head coach at St. Joseph Regional in Montvale, New Jersey. They're knocking on the door. They may be one of those teams in the top 25 when we release that top 25 and 26 through 50 on Monday. We're going to learn about what the Green Knights have coming back, how good they are, and we're also going to find out what's going on with the new Super Conference there in New Jersey, which will be brand new for 2016. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors. You're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously. You'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The debris inhibitor razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The debris inhibitor razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The debris inhibitor razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The debris inhibitor razor comes in 23 colors and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra Bigfoot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the debris inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover with a K.com/football. USA Today High School Sports is America's leading platform for high school football. The Super 25 team rankings and expert American Family Insurance All-USA list have been determining the best of the best nationally and locally for more than 3 decades. Be sure to check out usatodayhss.com, the best in the game for everything high school football. Jeff Fisher back with you on High School Football America tonight as we are only 4 days away from releasing our national top 25 and the other 25, meaning we rank them 1 through 50. We'll also be releasing our regional rankings on Monday as well. And on tonight's show, a couple of coaches that stand a good chance of being somewhere in that top 50. We're going to talk in a little bit to Bob Milloy, the head coach at Good Counsel in Maryland, closing in 1 win away from 400 victories. A little bit later in the show, we're going to be talking with Steve Martin, the head of the Kansas Football Coaches Association and Northwest High School in Wichita, about the JUCO situation there that could result in a boycott. But first, we're going to start in New Jersey, and we all know how good the Big North United has been over the past decade. Not only beating up each other in state there, but also doing a great job going out of state. Don Bosco Prep winning a couple of national titles. And they just seem to be getting better and better. This year, and Augie Hoffmann, the head coach at St. Joseph Regional, who's going to come in here in just a second, we're going to be talking about the new super conference there that was designed to manage some of the difficulties that the schools had in scheduling teams. No one in the state of New Jersey, especially public schools, wanted to play them, so they've created a new super conference that breaks the private schools into 3 different divisions there in North Jersey, and Augie Hoffmann's going to talk about that. He's also going to talk about what's coming back. Last year they were ranked number 35 in the final rankings. High School Football America, again, if you're not familiar, uses a proprietary algorithm to rank its teams in season. It is all formula. The preseason poll will have a little bit of opinion in it, but we still use the algorithm to form the basic premise of the top 50. But Augie Hoffmann has done a great job since taking over from Tony Karsich, the legendary Tony Karsich, who was at St. Joe's for a long, long time, and Augie played at St. Joe's, and he is now the leader of the program that is expected to do some big things in New Jersey this year and also on the national scene. And we're going to bring Coach Augie Hoffmann into the show right now to talk about what's changing there in northern New Jersey and what 2016 looks like for the Green Knights. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing, man?
Doing very, very well. I know you got things going there in Jersey, getting ready to kick things off here with fall camp. But before we dive into the 2016 Green Knights, let's talk a little bit about some of the changes there that have occurred. We think we did it the last time we talked here, the difficulty of scheduling, all the things that come with being part of the Big North United. Now, it looks like the powers that be have come up with a plan. So why don't you explain for the people that while you're still playing those teams that we all know, the Bergen Catholics, the Don Boscos, Paramus Catholic, and that, they've changed things up a little bit. So can you kind of give the people a thumbnail sketch of what's going on there?
They did. I mean, so, I guess for the last couple of years, they've been trying to figure out a solution to the public, non-public problem in New Jersey. Obviously the non-public in the Big North has trouble, getting 9 games. And then what they tried to do was put together a league where you could at least have 7 games and then go find 2 out-of-state games, which we all pretty much agreed that would be the best-case scenario. I don't know if you remember last year, we got stuck playing 5 out-of-state games, which is just, it's not fair for high school kids. So what they did was they put together a super conference. Basically, it's an all non-public league, and what they did was they grouped it aside according to school numbers and population. So you would play, for instance, we play Don Bosco, Bergen Catholics, Paramus Catholic. We're also going to play St. Peter's, DePaul, Pope John's on the schedule, Del Barton. So they figured out a way to get everybody minimum of 7 games, and then you can go out and find 2, which is, very doable.
We're talking with Augie Hoffman tonight on High School Football America, the head football coach at St. Joseph Regional High School in Montvale, New Jersey. For those of you not familiar with how the Super Conference of 115 teams was formed, the Big North Conference, the Super Essex Conference, Northwest Jersey Athletic Conference, and Hudson County Interscholastic League all came together to form the New Jersey Super Football Conference. The private schools put in the United Division with 3 divisions within that. In A, it's Bergen Catholic, Don Bosco Prep, Paramus Catholic, St. Peter's Prep, and Seton Hall Prep. Now in B, where St. Joseph Regional is located, it's Del Barton, DePaul Catholic, and Pope John. In the C division, it's Hudson Catholic, Marist, Montclair Immaculate, Morris Catholic, Newark Collegiate, and St. Anthony's. Now, once again this year, Coach, you're playing a great out-of-state schedule, including your opener when you come out here to Southern California to take on Sarah from Gardena. A great program for a long time out here under Scott Altenberg, and I know you're excited about this game that High School Football America had a hand in putting you together with the good folks at the Honor Bowl that are playing this year's event in Mission Viejo, California.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, Jeff, without you, we probably wouldn't have been able to get a shot at that game. But we are really excited. My boys have been, they got their eye on September 3rd coming out to California. A lot of guys haven't even, some of our guys hadn't been outside of New York, New Jersey until we went to Florida last year. So getting the opportunity to play in the Honor Bowl Classic, it's going to be a great experience for the kids. And obviously Sarah's a great team with a great tradition, and we've got, we did the film exchange last year, and we got a chance to see them, and they got some guys that can fly, so it should be a good game.
Yeah, Scott Altenberg, the head coach there, has put together a decent program through the years, just like you're building there, and that was built before you with your former coach. But let's talk about things heading into camp. I know you've got a lot of returners. Let's get some kids in by name here that you're expecting some big things out of here in 2016.
Well, I think if you look at our group, you got to start with our inside linebacker Louis Asus. He's probably the best player all around on our team. He plays inside linebacker. He's been a 3-year starter for us. He's going to play tailback for us. He's really the focal point of the group. I mean, he if he's having a good game, we're having a good game together. So, Louis is going to be a big part of us on both sides of the ball this year. He's a multiple scholarship kid, explosive at the point of attack, just a humble, great kid. We love him. I mean, he's just a phenomenal individual.
Let's take it through some of let's go offense, defense. Well, let's stay on defense. Let's go with that. Who are some of the kids you have coming back? Talk about them and let us know, what you expect out of them this year.
Well, I think, on defense, for us, the strength of our defense is going to be our linebacker core. We have 4 senior starting linebackers, 3 of which, including Lewis, are 3-year starters for us, with Grant Pagano stepping in at the Mike spot, who was a star, who really could have been a starter for us last year. Played a ton, and we returned 3 defensive linemen in Mark Doran, Yves Montesol, and Vincent Matraxia. And really, the guy that's running the show in the back end is our safety, Evan Stewart, who's going to be a 3-year starter for us by the time he's a senior. He started every game as a sophomore for us last year, and is a multiple scholarship kid, rangy, long. So we're feeling real good about our down the middle play on defense.
Talking with Augie Hoffman tonight, head coach at St. Joseph Regional in Montvale, New Jersey. Team that finished number 35 last year in our national rankings. 7-4 record shows how good that schedule was when the algorithm breaks it down. Somebody goes 7-4, top 35. Yeah, you guys play that type of a schedule, and it's going to help you coming into this year. Let's flip it over to offense. What do you have coming back, and who are some of the team's leaders at this point?
As far as our offense is concerned, I think you look up front for us, we have 5 returning guys that started games last year, 4 full-time starters, and our 5th guy was a part-time starter last year up front with 4 seniors in the mix up front on the offensive line. Robbie Martin is our starting left tackle. He's a 3-year starter, committed to Penn State. Sean Mitchell is going to play guard for us, is a 3-year starter. Josh Jackson is a national recruit. So, we're feeling real good about our guys up front. They're big, strong. They played a lot of football together. Nick Patty is going to be our quarterback. He was started for us every game last year, took us to the state championship. He's only gotten better. And all our wide receivers are back from last year. So, we feel good about what we have. Obviously, every year you take on a new identity. It's going to be interesting to see how this group comes together, but the way it looks preseason camp has gone and OTAs, they're playing like a veteran group. So that's, I'm excited about that.
Talking St. Joe's Regional here on High School Football America tonight. Coach, heading into your 3rd year now, I guess.
Yes.
Taking over for legendary Tony Karsich. How different is the program now, 3 years removed from Coach Karsich, who just did such a marvelous job there at the school?
I think the biggest thing is the landscape has changed so much. We've never played schedules the way we've played. Playing these out-of-state teams, and really the competition in the league has gotten so great that, we say it all the time, it's the SEC of high school football.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said earlier, you go 7, 8, and 4, and how are you in the top 35? Well, look at the schedule these kids have to play week in and week out, and you'll understand. The competition is as fierce as it gets. So, Coach Carson's won a lot of football games for a lot of years, and he's, in my opinion, he's the best coach in New Jersey history. But the landscape is just so much different now, and the competition has grown so great that as coaches, you really have to be, you're light years ahead of where you were years ago.
Mm-hmm. How much pressure is on you for the people to understand this? Because one of the things I've been talking about on the last couple of shows with some of the great coaches around the country, when you get to the level that you guys get at as a collective group there in Jersey or some of the teams in Texas, it's not like it used to be. I'm 55 years old, and, parents generally back then kept their mouths shut. You might have had an oddball here or there, but, nowadays all it takes is something to fire it up. So explain to the coaches that listen out there and the parents what it's like to be a coach at this level and how much pressure is on you.
It's funny because it's hard. It's gotten. I think the stakes have grown, especially in our league. I don't want. I like to think that St. Joe's does a great job educating our young boys, and the whole league is great academically. But when you talk about football, you talk about the Big North. You talk about us and Bosco and Bergen and Paramus Catholic. The kids come to these schools because they want to move forward in their athletics career. So you come to St. Joe's, you come to Boston, you come to Bergen, you go to PC, you want to move on, you want to play at the highest level in college. And, listen, college is not getting any cheaper. So, people are looking for scholarships, and, parents are putting in a lot of time and money even before they get to high school and getting these kids ready. And I don't necessarily agree with it. I think sometimes the priorities have shifted a little bit, and at the end of the day, it's still high school football, and this is the most fun you're ever going to have playing football, really, because after this it becomes a lot more job-oriented. But the stakes are higher, parents feel more invested, and their voices get a little louder, and if things don't work out for their kid, you're definitely hearing it. And, coming from a family where if there was an issue, my father and mother told me, you're going to go handle it with the coach. We're not, we're keeping our mouth shut. It's been a little bit of a transition for me because, I can't understand that part of it. You play football is the most selfless game you could play. So it's hard sometimes where you win a big game and you're still dealing with parents, complaining, complaining for lack of a better term of why their kids aren't playing. But I think after, going into my third year, I understand that it's not going to change. It is what it is, so you got to deal with it.
Yeah, no, I know, and I'm really kind of bringing the topic up here in the fall during these shows with coaches because, I think sometimes parents just don't think about it, and, I can kind of be the voice of reason here and just say, knock it off, and like you said, back in 1978 or whenever boy, that sounds a long time ago. That's what happened, you went out there, you competed, and if you wanted to talk to the coach, you did it, not mom and dad, so interesting part of the mix. We're talking to Augie Hoffman tonight, the head coach at St. Joseph Regional in Montvale, New Jersey, a team that will be in the mix when we release our top 25 next week on Monday. And let's just kind of wrap up with things here with, going into camp. You talked about a lot of kids coming back, but every team has its own identity. What are some of the things that you want to see develop in the fall camp that's going to make you feel confident that this team is the one that you think it can be?
Well, it's going to start for me. We played great defense last year. And we need to continue to play great defense. We have to swarm to the football. We're not as big up front as we were last year, but we got guys that can run and move. And I want to see us, play fierce defense. And really, being a former O-lineman, we have to run the ball efficiently this year. Not that we didn't last year, but I want to see us really take control up front. I want to see us establish a run game, and I want to see Nick Patty continue to make better decisions at the quarterback spot.
Fair enough. And then if that all goes according to the plan, you jump in. Like you said, you're coming out here to play the Honor Bowl. Actually, Sarah will have, I think, a couple of games under its belt at that point. How do you face that? Obviously, you'll have some tape on them, which is good, so you'll know a little bit about that. But it's still going to be, yours. Or do you guys open? You scrimmage prep, right? St. Joseph's prep.
Yeah, what we did was because we understood that, we know, and any time you play an out-of-state schedule, those guys, a lot of teams are got a couple game jump on us because New Jersey just starts later than everybody else. But what we tried to do this year was really put together a hard-hitting, preseason practice schedule and scrimmage schedule, and I think we did that. We're going to scrimmage Seton Hall Prep, who's one of the up-and-coming programs in New Jersey. We're going to scrimmage Middletown South, who was the number one team in the state last year, and then we're going to go, St. Joe's Philly, obviously, who put it on us pretty good last year. So we really tried to get as close to game ready as possible going into the Sarah game because we know we got to be moving fast.
Yep. Well, Coach, always appreciate your time and coming on the show here. I think it's going to be another great year, and I think you'll be happy. The algorithm's almost there, and I think you guys are going to be happy. Of course, that's also pressure, right? I don't mean to put, but you like that pressure, right? No big deal there.
No, we love it. We love it, but I got to tell you, I hope that we're having the same conversation in December with the algorithm saying you guys are still in the mix from at the end of the year.
Sounds good, Coach. Appreciate it. Have a great 2016. We'll talk soon.
Jeff, thank you very much, man.
Very welcome. Taking a break, coming back, heading to Maryland. Bob Milloy going for win number 400 in the first game this year. That's an elite club. Bob Milloy and Good Counsel from Maryland when we come back. You're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover with a K.com/football. USA Today High School Sports is America's leading platform for high school football. The Super 25 team rankings and expert American Family Insurance All-USA list have been determining the best of the best nationally and locally for more than 3 decades. Be sure to check out usatoday.hss.com, the best in the game, for everything high school football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. USA Today High School Sports and High School Football America teaming up once again here in 2016 to give you great high school sports coverage from Southern California and around the nation. Just go to usatodayhss.com. All right, well, we go from Jersey just a little touch south to Maryland to talk about a very good football program and a very good football coach who's coming up on a milestone. We're going to talk a little Good Counsel here with Bob Milloy, who's on the show several years ago, but heading into the first game here, he is just one win shy of 400 victories, 399, 118, and 1. He's tied for 18th on the all-time coaching victories list. The guy he's tied with, by the way, not bad. You may have heard of him, De La Salle's Bob Laddiser, who retired with 399, but Coach Milloy will not be doing that, and he's on the line right now to talk about the upcoming season and some of the players that he hopes will make this one a special one. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Hey, Jeff, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on here. And, I know you're not a guy that's going to like talking about himself, and we're going to get to the kids pretty quickly. But, when you hit 400, you'll be one of 18 members of a very exclusive club there. And I just thought I'd, kind of start with that and just kind of get your feelings. And I know we had, before I rolled the tape here, we were joking that you just have to do it for a long time. But at least it means a little bit more than that. So what does it mean to you to reach a milestone like that?
Well, honestly, I try not to think about it very often. I mean, we could have reached it last year, but, playing a great DeMatha team, that's a tough deal, to win number 400 in a championship game at Maryland versus DeMatha. But, I'd look at it, gee whiz, if I'd retired last year, what's the difference between 399 and 400? One missed extra point, for God's sake. So, I'm very proud, I didn't realize that, there's a group of 18. I'm very proud of that, but that's not why I'm in coaching. I don't have goals like that. I love the preparation. I love messing around with the kids, and if everything else comes, that's great too.
Yeah, if you're around long enough and you do enough getting those wins, they pile up in a hurry. Bob Milloy is on the line. Good Counsel out of Olney, Maryland. We're talking them on High School Football America tonight, and we're going to get again into the team in a little bit. By the way, as we develop our algorithm rankings, which will be released on Monday, Good Counsel in the fight for the national rankings. I know Max Preps in their preseason had you, I think, somewhere around 37 or 38, if memory serves me correctly. Before we dive into it, you said something there, you enjoy it and all the things that go with it after, several decades, we'll just say. How different is the game right now? From when you got started?
Well, the kids are really the same. I think, as far as how you treat them, and I think they respond to discipline. Obviously, the weights are huge, and the guys are bigger and faster and stronger. And, in the old days, you say, hey, well, you do this, and they just did it. They didn't question you. Now, now they will. They sort of sometimes want to know why. And you get a lot more feedback from them. They're more aware. I guess the biggest drawback, the parents are extremely involved, and
yep.
That's a good word, I guess. And they want to meet with you, on Mondays and talk about touches and passes and blah blah blah. And so that makes it, that's the negative part of it. But the kids really, to me, and how I treat them and deal with them, they haven't really changed that much. They, as long as they know that you're in there, you care. And you care about them, that's. I think that's why I stayed in it so long. I enjoy, being out there with them and laughing with them, and that's kind of what I like to do.
Yeah, and I just talked with Augie Hoffman before you came on here from St. Joe's in New Jersey. He said the same thing. Involved is a good word, and not necessarily a good thing at this point. But hey, the world evolves, and that's what we deal with. Bob Milloy is on the line, head coach at Good Counsel. Started there in 2001, Hall of Fame coach in Maryland. I think you were also inducted into the Washington D.C. Hall of Fame there as well, Coach. Let's dive into 2016. Last year 7-5, but if you kind of tear that apart. 7-5 could have easily have been something else. As you mentioned, you lost to DeMatha in the Washington Catholic Athletic Association championship game. You lost to them twice, also during the regular season. 2 overtime losses to Gilman and St. John's. Gilman nationally ranked last year. Also lost to Gonzaga when they were nationally ranked. So you guys played a pretty tough schedule, maybe one of the toughest in the nation. So tell us a little bit about last year and kind of how that gets the hunger going as you head to 2016.
Well, you're right. You forgot one of the best teams of all of them. We played Bishop DePaul from up in Wayne, New Jersey.
That's right. Yep.
And boy, they were good. They were really good, and we played probably our best game against them. But Gilman, Gilman and DeMatha and St. John's and DeMatha twice and Gonzaga twice. We played 5 of our 12 games were against USA Today top 20 teams when we played them. And that's pretty tough. And we took Gilman and St. John's to overtime. And actually, at first, the DeMatha game, we were thrown in the end zone to win it, but we didn't get it done. And, we had a great semifinal game against Gonzaga where we beat them pretty good at Maryland. And then, DeMatha was a really, really fine football team last year. So, it was 7-5. It could have easily have been like 9-3, but it is what it is. And yeah, you're right. We want to get back in the championship game, and we want to, get back to being the WCAC champs in 2016.
Yep, you did it 4 years straight, 2009 through 2012. Bob Milloy on the line tonight talking about Good Counsel, the Falcons heading into 2016, another national ranking coming their way, and let's dive into this. I know you've got some talent on both sides of the ball. Let's go offense. I know your quarterback's back, your running back's back, so tell the listeners out there by name some of the kids you expect things from this year.
Well, a quarterback, Travis Dan, he's 6'3", and he's a drop-back guy, throws the ball well, very, very smart. He's a very smart guy, and, a lot of times we'll just say, what do you like? And he can help you in that manner. Our running back, Mo Ibrahim, is a great one. He's a 3-year starter, or he'll be a 3-year starter. He's a pretty good player. We got, a couple good. We have DJ Pratt's going to be a senior. He's a wide receiver. He's a track star. I think he came in third in the nationals in the 100 meters. I'm not exactly sure. I think Nike meet, but I'm not exactly sure. But
okay.
He's got some good speed. Got actually exceptional speed. And we have, 3 starting linemen back, and they're all, close to 300 pounds. And Nasir Watkins and Brandon Johnson and Josh Conti and, an undefeated freshman team. Hopefully, 4 or 5 guys from that team will be back and be able to help us, sometime, early in the season. Defensively, we have, I guess, our top guy, Josh Pascal, who was out in Seattle a couple weeks ago for the Nike opening. And he did very well out there. He's a DN type of guy, outside backer, has 50 scholarships, started 2 years in a row. And we got Ayende Ile. He's been offered. He's committed to Maryland. He's an outside backer. Anthony Budd's a safety. Again, he started for 3 years. So, we got about 6 offensive starters back and about 5 defensive starters back. And we had a kicker transfer in, JT Mitchell. And, I haven't coached him yet, but I've seen him out there working out. He's got a good leg. So, we got a chance. We got a chance. We'll work hard. The kids will respond. And we literally really take one day at a time.
No.
And, you just can't worry about DeMatha, Game 10 on ESPN. You got to worry about Mount St. Joe's, September 4th. That's what we worry about right now.
Got to get that coach speak in there. You've been doing it a long time, Coach, so you're allowed to do it. Bob Milloy on the line from Good Counsel tonight. 1 win shy.
No, honestly, I'm not kidding. You just can't. You can't. You got goals. You want to be, number one in the area. You want to be number one in the country. But really, you just want to get better every day. And so we met last night, a couple hours, the coaches. And, we're getting ready for our first practice August 10th.
And you know what? You're right about that. That hasn't changed through the years. I was just throwing a bad joke out there. Bob Milloy on the line. Let's get into, since I just had Augie Hoffman on talking about the Big North United and how good that area is. It seems like we know that the Washington Catholic Athletic Conference has always been good in multiple sports. But it seems recently, over the last 5 years or so, it's no longer a two-horse race or whatever. Tell the listeners out there a little bit about what that gauntlet is that you run every year to not only win a regular season title, but then go into the postseason for a championship. It's not easy, I guess, is the best way to put it simply.
No, DeMatha is nationally known in every sport around. Morgan Wooten got that going, and they're terrific. They get great players and great kids, and they're playing in the NFL. They're playing all over the place, and they're the defending champions. Gonzaga, I think, on paper has the talent coming back. They played a lot of young guys last year, and then St. John's has a new coach and a really good program. They got beat by DeMatha in the semifinals, so St. John's is going to be there also. Believe me, McNamara is getting better. So, yeah, it's a really competitive league. DeMatha opened up against two teams from Florida last year and beat one of them on ESPN pretty badly, and then the other one they won. And, our teams, when they go and play, St. John's is playing IMG this year, and I think St. Francis in Baltimore. So it just seems like and around here lately, a lot of kids from public schools are choosing to go to private schools because of the scholarships and because of the exposure. And it's making the teams, league even better.
Yeah, and puts the pressure on you as well as the head coach of the program. Talking Good Counsel high school football here tonight on High School Football America out of Maryland. Bob Milloy, the legendary coach, and legendary because he's coming up on win number 400, which will put him to be the 18th person in that very famous circle, a very exclusive club. So now as you head into camp, Coach, what are some of the things that you hope to see out of this team that's going to let you know that they're ready for what lies ahead in 2016?
Well, like always, the offensive line. We got to find a couple of guards and a tight end. We're looking for that, and we're old school. I mean, we like lining up in flanker and twins with two backs, and we like running off tackle. Now, sometimes you can't do that, and so we have a one back. We try to run our core plays out of two backs and one backs, spread them out, and then try to run the same plays, and so we got to find out, right away. We got to fill in those linemen and find another receiver. Defensively, we have another. I forgot to mention, but Brady Daniels started at linebacker, and I think he was the 210-pound state champion in wrestling last year, and he's back. So we got Noah Nicholson. He's a corner. He's been offered 4 or 5 places, and Micah McNeil's also coming back. He played a lot last year, so. We do have some guys, that are returning with some playing experience, and we had a terrific group of freshmen. But it takes them, 3 of, usually the end of September before they're really ready to jump in there. So our first games we're tough. We're playing Mount St. Joe's from Baltimore and Spalding from Baltimore, and we're playing Gilman again, and then we're playing the school you probably heard about, Bishop Sullivan from Virginia Beach.
Mm-hmm.
and they got a new coach and a lot of new players down there, and they're going to be pretty good. So, those games are games, prestige games, but the whole thing is, trying to get our team ready to play in our WCAC opener, which is St. John's.
And that won't be an easy one either. Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on here, but before we let you go, and we've had all of the living and active 400 Win Club members on here, starting with the head who just recently retired last year, John McKissick in Somerville with 600 plus. JT Curtis has been on here, and I've asked him this same unfair question, and it's really tongue-in-cheek, but we'll have fun with it with you too. So you're coming up on 400 there. Do you have one win that stands out of all those victories? And you're probably going to tell me the loss is better than the wins, but give me a favorite victory if you have one.
That's like saying who's your favorite player.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. I say the one I remember is the very first game of my coaching career in 1970. I was at Whitman High School and we played Montgomery Blair, and the thing ended up in a 0-0 tie. And so that's the one tie that we've had. They don't have ties anymore, and I remember that both teams went back and forth, but nobody could punch it in there. So it's a very hard question to answer. I do remember that tie, and I do remember the last loss to DeMatha, and everything else in the middle is kind of a blur.
Fair enough. That's the best answer I think I've had. It wasn't a win, but it was a tie. It was the old kiss your sister thing, and they don't have them anymore. Bob's record, by the way, just so you know, along with that one tie, 399 wins, 118 losses, and a whole lot of helping young men along the way through the decades. Coach, thank you so much for joining us here on the show tonight. Best of luck in 2016, and can't wait to talk about win number 400 here and promote that when that happens during the 2016 season. Thanks a lot. Have a great year.
Hey, Jeff, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed it.
You're very welcome. Thanks a lot. Taking a break, heading out to Kansas. When we come back, the coaches out there in the association a little up in arms about what the JUCOs are doing, trying to take away some spots from their Kansas boys. We'll have that story with Coach Steve Martin from Northwest High School in Wichita. When we come back, you're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field Turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass-playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The debris inhibitor razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The debris inhibitor razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The debris inhibitor razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the debris inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover with a K.com/football. USA Today High School Sports is America's leading platform for high school football. The Super 25 team rankings and expert American Family Insurance All-USA list have been determining the best of the best nationally and locally for more than 3 decades. Be sure to check out usatodayhss.com, the best in the game for everything high school football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. USA Today High School Sports and High School Football America teaming up another year for great national and Southern California coverage. Check out USA Today High School Sports at usatodayhss.com. All right, heading to the Jayhawk State now, where the Kansas High School Football Coaches Association is not happy with an upcoming vote by the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference that would increase the number of out-of-state high school football players on its rosters. The conference of 8 junior college teams will vote August the 4th to raise the limit from 20 to 30 players. And head coach Steve Martin at Northwest High School in Wichita and president of the Kansas High School Football Coaches Association is going to join us now to talk about what he feels is a very unfair situation for the Kansas high school football kids there in his state. And he says he's surveying the coaches out there to try and figure out what can be done to prevent that increase from happening. Actually, early in the spring, the conference did vote, but didn't vote in favor of just dropping the roster limitations altogether. And Steve's on the line right now to tell us what is possible right now. He says a boycott is the biggest thing they're talking about, and he surveyed the rank and file, and 73% so far say yes on a boycott, 14% undecided, and 13% say a straight-out no. Steve Martin, welcome to the show, and tell us a little bit about what all this means for Kansas high school football players.
Hey, thanks, Jeff. We appreciate you guys having us on and letting our Kansas Football Coach Association get our opinions out on a national stage. We've been fighting this locally the past couple of days, and so we're kind of pretty proud of our association to get this spread out through the country and let people know what's going on. to our state of football here in Kansas.
Yeah, well, obviously JUCO's a big deal. A lot of these programs, putting out kids that, aren't making it, going on to the big D1 programs. But let's kind of drill it down to Kansas first. And really, what is happening here is it's affecting the Kansas high school football player directly. So what's kind of the stance of the organization right now, your association, and what you want to do to try and at least make an impact on this upcoming vote?
Well, what we feel is that, these community colleges, when these were built and founded by the local communities and their counties, that they wanted to help local kids and make it financially feasible for kids to go to college there and give local kids a better opportunity to continue their academic rigors and their, and also help out athletically. And, most of that money at the community college level is about 25% state funded, about 40% locally through the county taxes. So one of the big things is we're trying to keep people and keep these presidents and head football coaches in the state of Kansas, JUCOs, to realize is that these people need us. They're academically not going to be able to do anything financially if Kansas kids do not go to their community colleges. Mm-hmm. And we know it's a small thing that we're doing as the association, but we feel like we have to stick up for our 16,000 kids that play high school football in Kansas. We know, we're not a group that feels like every one of those 16,000 people can play football, but we'd love for every 16,000 of our kids that play high school football to have a chance to move on. And what we see happening is, as a nationally recruiting deal, this year we were lucky enough to have a Xavier Tilley sign with Clemson, Isaiah Saunders sign with Clemson, and we have multiple kids that signed to go to KU and Missouri and stuff like that. But we have a lot of kids in Kansas that get overlooked because we are not a national recruited state. The JUCOs now help us out big time in the state of Kansas because they get the exposure with those kids that they move over, they'll get a kid that doesn't qualify and they send them and place them at these Kansas JUCOs. And that's how our Kansas kids get these looks is, these guys come in and they look at these kids. Well, they see our guys that are going, they go, man, we missed on this guy. Mm-hmm. So, from us as a Kansas standpoint, we know we're not a nationally recruited state, but we have lots of players that have went and that were qualifiers that went to a Butler for a half a semester and then went on to propel themselves. And I'll speak on one kid, Ben Powers, who is a Wichita, plays in the Wichita City League. I played against him, coached against him, actually. And, he went to Butler for a half semester, and all of a sudden he goes to OU this spring, tears it up in the spring, and I think he's a projected starter right now on the offensive line for a national power in Oklahoma. and there's a long list of people that I can attribute. Dreamer Smith, who's a running back for the San Diego Chargers, a kid that I coached at Heights, wasn't a qualifier, wasn't a nationally recruited athlete coming out of high school. His only offer was KU, didn't qualify academically, went to Butler, served his time at Butler, and instead was a national recruit, ended up going to West Virginia, now has propelled that into an NFL career. Maybe if at the time when Dreamus went to Butler, the state rule was 12 out-of-state scholarships, and now they pushed it a year ago to go to 20, and now if they go to 30, would the Ben Powers of the world, would the Dreamus Smiths of the world, the Albert Macks of the world, would they have had a shot to continue their playing level and get the right exposure playing at the Division I level if it wasn't for these Kansas JUCOs and limiting out-of-state scholarships? Because let's all face it, college football is becoming a business, and it's starting to trickle down to even the junior college.
That's the point.
Exactly, and it's becoming, you have to win games. We understand that. But if you look at the past 30 years, and you can look at our Kansas JUCO system, Coffeyville with Coach Foster was winning national titles at Coffeyville using 10 out-of-state scholarships. Butler, with their recent success of being a national powerhouse in the JUCO scene. 4 or 5 years ago, you had Fort Scott, who lost on, I believe, an interception return 4 or 5 years ago, was playing Blinn College for the national championship. And just so happens, Boyne College was led by Cam Newton. Everybody knows who Cam Newton is. And that team by Fort Scott was only had 12 out-of-staters on there. So we know our Kansas kids can get it done on a national level. And that's the message we're trying to send our JUCOs here, is that remember where your bread's buttered. And, and we back them. The communities, the out-of-state people aren't going to be supporting these local community colleges. It's going to be the local communities that have been set up for years supporting them. And so if there's no local kids going there, what's going to put butts in the seat?
Money talks, right? And you know the rest of that saying. We're talking with Steve Martin tonight. He is the president of the 156-member Kansas Football Coaches Association, head coach at Northwest High School in Wichita, talking about an upcoming vote next month, August the 4th, by the Jayhawk Conference that would increase the number of out-of-state roster spots from 20 to 30, and he's laid out a good reason why it shouldn't. And I think I read in the local paper there, the word boycott came up, and that's sort of what you hinted at toward the end. I mean, is this are you guys just kind of throwing it out there, or is this real? I mean, can you see the organization saying, hey, JUCOs, guess what? Without us, you're nothing.
Absolutely. If right now we've had 86 out of our 86 members out of our 228 schools that play 11-man football. And this isn't even talking about our 8-man division. Now, I haven't really been in contact with the 8-man Coaches Association president to see how they want to progress, and maybe we can join forces on this. But, it's one of those things where I'm not the only coach that has thrown this out. We are about a 73% now, looking at results about an hour ago. 73% of those guys that responded said they would be in the boycotting these schools that said yes for the out-of-state rule. And is it harsh? Absolutely. But is giving 30 out-of-state scholarships, is that harsh to our Kansas kids? Absolutely. And what we're, it's one of those deals where people are going, locally, they're going, Coach, could this hurt our kids in Wichita? No, I'm very confident in my kids and my program that people want my kids to come play football for them. And I think a lot of people will say that in the state of Kansas, that what's going to happen is the rich are going to get richer. The guys that do a great job of recruiting in Kansas are continuing to win these battles. At the end of the day, when they know that these kids, when these coaches are coming in and recruiting Kansas kids because they understand the product that we can put out on the field and the realization that they need our Kansas kids at the end of the day to make it successful. Because what's going to happen is a lot of these board of trustees are going to start looking at enrollment numbers. And if enrollment numbers start dipping and these funds aren't coming locally, what's going to happen? I think that's more pressure than winning. I think at those JUCO levels, everybody knows the state of education in the United States right now at the college level is getting more expensive. Mm-hmm. And if people aren't enrolling in school, how's that school going to stay open? How are they going to build their football stadiums? How are they going to build these guys their new weight rooms and indoor facilities and all that stuff if kids aren't enrolling there?
Very well said. And just to give the listeners an idea here, the home roster, 85 in the Jayhawk Conference, traveling squad, 63. And again, 2013 they moved from 12 to 20 on the out-of-state spots, and now they're trying to go up. What happened with the situation where they tried to drop the restrictions completely? I mean, what was the reason that they didn't go that route? Because, like you said, the state of the game is such that they could have. So is there hope in the fact that there was a little bit of common sense that kicked in back in the spring?
No, there's no hope because no one found out about this.
Okay.
No one knew that they were doing this. I just found this out this morning. Tony Adame, a reporter with the Wichita Eagle here in Wichita, actually just stumbled upon this story. If Tony wouldn't have done some good researching, and I didn't even ask Tony how he found this out, but August 4th would have came, and none of us would have known anything about what was going on.
Wow.
We didn't know about this vote coming up until Tuesday morning. We didn't know about the total restrictions on out-of-state scholarships. And a year back, we didn't even know they were voting on the 20. So I'm glad we have a very good reporter here in Wichita who is bringing this to light, and it's hopefully going to help Kansas kids. because that's what it's about. We're here to, as Kansas high school coaches, and me as the president of the Kansas Football Coaches Association, is to have a voice for Kansas coaches and Kansas kids, and I believe we're doing that. I think we're doing what's right for our Kansas kids and protecting our game here in Kansas.
Yeah, and congratulations to Tony Adame. I'm going to post both of his stories that I have so far that goes into this, so people can get an idea exactly what's going on there with the upcoming August 4th vote. And let's shift gears here. We wish you success with that, but fall camp's around the corner, so you got to be chomping at the bit. I know last year you guys were 10-1, made it to the state quarters in 6A, the biggest classification there. Let's talk a little bit about your Northwest program there, Coach. What do you have coming back? What are you excited about going into fall camp?
We have an extremely talented running back in Jalil Rounds that leads an explosive offense. Last year we set a couple state records in total yards per game at 539 per game, and even rattled off 102 offensive snaps in one game with our offensive tempo. But,
wow.
A lot of it's accredited to our kids. Our Kansas kids are good kids. They are blue-collar kids, and I think a lot of people say that in the state of Kansas, and I just have a good group of kids right now. We're riding their success and their hard work in the weight room and stuff. But, we have a big offensive lineman in Joey Gilbertson that committed about a month ago to KU, had multiple offer by Tulane out there and a lot of FCS schools. So these guys are bringing attention to us nationally. Louisville and some of those guys are in, so it's kind of fun when those guys are coming in and looking at your players. But we feel like we have a dynamic offense with Jalil Rounds as our running back, ran for 1,400 yards, and a two-back offense. The other running back ran for 1,000 yards, and very good downhill inside zone runner. It's getting a couple looks by FCS. Army was in, looking at him in the spring. But we also have a very, very great wide receiver, Martise Mullins, that is very unknown nationally, who is probably going to have to end up maybe going to that JC route because of the exposure. But he's one of those kids that no one sees, but when he steps on those fields, I know the JC guys that are in our state know about him, and they have been talking with him since after last season. But we feel like offensively we're going to be good as long as the quarterback can manage the game for us. We had a very good quarterback last year, and we feel like we're going to be young on defense, and we feel as the season goes on we're going to get better and better. When it's time to get going for playoffs, I think we'll be a great team. But early on, I just don't know. We're going to be probably starting about 5 sophomores on defense, and sometimes that's scary. I don't know how other people view that nationally, but we always say that if you're starting sophomores, you can count a loss for every one of them. Well, I don't really want to go 5-5 or have 5 losses or anything like that. So we're hoping that wise coach that once told me was wrong, or was drinking something when he told me that. So,
well, I can give you one positive. Last week on the show, we had McGill Toolin's head coach, Mobile, Alabama. They won the 7A championship there, and he talked exactly about what you talked about. He took over, had 9 sophomores, struggled that year, but 2 years later, state championship. So it does happen. We're talking to Steve Martin, and I was joking with Steve before. This is a very famous interview. I mean, he's Steve Martin, the comedian. I'm Jeff Fisher, the head coach of the Rams. It doesn't get any better, folks. You're listening.
Exactly. We're just 2 famous guys just sitting here talking about high school football.
There you go. That's how big it is. Well, and let's put you, let's get you to put on the hat, kind of the Chamber of Commerce, if you will, the spokesperson for Kansas football. You've touched on it a little bit, but for our national audience here, kind of really give us a good snapshot of how good it is. You talked about blue collar, we kind of get that, but give us an overall scope of football, high school football in the state of Kansas right now.
Right now in the high school, what we're going on is we have a big debate classification-wise. We have a wide range of kids. I think we have some schools that are looking at maybe in the future playing some 6-man football. We have over 100 and some schools that play 8-man football, and we have 232 schools that play 11-man football, ranging from population of 71 kids in the total high school to 2,600. So it's a wide array of populations. You have a lot of inner city schools, and when it comes to Wichita, Kansas City area, that are do a very good job of playing football, and then you have, just like everybody else, the suburban schools. So we all have, if we probably went down to Texas, we'd have some similarities, but we don't with the aspect of we're not allowed to have spring ball, but we are allowed to have unlimited contact with our kids in the summer, with practices wise, just with no equipment on, and we feel that rule that passed us 8 years ago is improving our brand, and we just keep hoping that our game keeps expanding, that these kids that are getting nationally recruited from our bigger areas can keep putting us in the limelight and letting people know that there are good football players in the state of Kansas, and that we are running conventional offenses. We're running a whole bunch of different stuff, from flex bone to wing T to single wing to spread concepts to no huddle, throwing the ball every down. So we feel like we have a good game in the state of Kansas. We have a tight-knit coaching community that's very competitive, and we all like to win. And we just are thirsting for that national respect by recruiters nationally. But we also understand that it's not a populous state where we're all over the place. Where maybe in the states of Texas or Florida, you can go to Dallas and visit 200 schools within a 60-mile radius. Well, in Kansas, you got to go to Kansas City or you got to go to Wichita and then expand outward from there, and you could be driving for 200 miles. So really, that's what we want people to know, is that we still know how to play football, and we can coach football in the state of Kansas.
Yeah, and you guys got some notoriety. My good friend Joe Drape wrote about Smith Center during the big streak they had there. That got a little spotlight on the state of Kansas. We're talking with Steve Martin, the head coach at Northwest High School in Wichita in Kansas, also the president of the Kansas Football Coaches Association. Let's bring it back to wrap up here with exactly why you were on at the beginning, which is the Jayhawk Conference voting next month to increase out-of-state roster spots by 10 from 20 to 30. If you had to guess, how much of an impact do you think you're going to have as an association, and how do you think this vote will go on August the 4th?
Well, I don't know if the Board of Trustees or presidents thought we would get this information leaked to us, to be honest with you. I've had 3 head coaches from these junior colleges already call me and assured me that they were voting no, or and they're not the ones driving this issue. So we'll see what comes to light. But the big message is we're not going to let this happen to our Kansas kids without a fight. And I think every head coach in the nation could tell you that we are advocates for kids in developing young men and looking out for their best interests in the future. And that's what we're going to do in the state of Kansas. We're going to keep advocating for our kids and keep fighting tooth and nail for these kids.
And this is one of the reasons, folks, why High School Football America exists as a radio show. It's to tell these stories. Yes, it's great in Texas. Yes, it's great in Florida and all these other states, but we want the voices heard. And you can hear from Coach Martin how much he's enthused to help his kids in the state of Kansas, and that's what makes this sport so great. Coach, really, really appreciate you coming on. We'll hopefully have you back on here with some good news once the vote comes down, but thanks for sharing your story about the JUCOs, and also best of luck in 2016 for your program.
Well, thanks, Jeff. We appreciate you taking this on a national level for us, and hopefully people can chime in and just understand what our Kansas kids face when it comes to recruiting. And I appreciate you wishing me good luck, and I do hopefully we'll have some good news for you August 5th. We really hope so, and if not, it might be bad news for some of those JUCOs that voted yes.
There you go. They should listen to exactly what you said there at the end. Okay, Coach, have a great 2016.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Again, that's Steve Martin, head coach at Northwest High School in Wichita. The latest numbers in the survey as they try and work to some sort of a compromise on this situation with the JUCOs not wanting them to go up 10 more spots for out-of-state players on the roster. 73% of the coaches that were surveyed in the state of Kansas saying, yes, we do support a boycott. 14 are undecided, 14%, and 13% said flat out no. And oh, by the way, one of the other things Coach wanted me to let everybody know, he was very excited after we taped the interview earlier this week. He mentioned that Marcus Hicks, his 6'5", 230-pound sophomore defensive end, got an offer from Oklahoma State, so he was very, very proud of that. Okay, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, we're going to wrap the show up here. You're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass-playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover with a K.com/football. USA Today High School Sports is America's leading platform for high school football. The Super 25 team rankings and expert American Family Insurance All-USA list have been determining the best of the best nationally and locally for more than 3 decades. Be sure to check out usatodayhss.com, the best in the game, for everything high school football. All right, Jeff Fisher with you as we wrap things up tonight on High School Football America. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't noticed, we've expanded the show as we go into our 6th year. We are now 90 minutes in length, trying to give you as much coverage as we can. And boy, are we excited about Monday, August the 1st, as we release our preseason top 25. We're going to do the top 50. It's formed by our algorithm as the base, and we use a little bit of opinion in the preseason poll, but once the season starts, then it goes all computer ranking that we have put together. That's been people are really appreciative of what we've been able to develop with our algorithm, and they feel that it gives a very good, accurate accounting of what's going on with high school football around America. And it does help now that we do have a lot of interstate games, and those big teams now are playing each other, whether they're traveling across the country or in their backyard, and that helps develop that algorithm just a little bit stronger. I want to thank our guest on the show tonight, starting with Augie Hoffmann, head coach at St. Joseph Regional, Bob Milloy, going for win number 400 in week 1 of the 2016 season, as he's the head coach at Good Counsel, and then Steve Martin from Northwest High School in Wichita in Kansas, but also the head of the Kansas Football High School Coaches Association, joining us to talk about the JUCO situation out there. And we want to thank all three of them for being on the show. I want to thank our partners on the show, beginning with Crossover, crossover.com/football for your free demo. That's Crossover with a K. Echo 1612 instant replay on your sidelines. Echo1612.com is where you can learn more. Also brought to you tonight by USA Today High School Sports. Check them out at usatodayhss.com. By ScoreStream, giving you all the scores this season. Throughout the season, you can score along at your game that you're at. All you have to do is get the app at the Google Play or iTunes Store. You can also find out more at ScoreStream.com. And also brought to you tonight by the good folks at Southern Sport, makers of the TDI Razor, TDIRazor.com. That's with a U, TDI Razor, RAZUR.com. HSFA is the code to get you a discount on your order when you get those really cool-looking spats that keep the pesky rubber pellets of field turf out of your shoes and give you the great look of spatting without the high cost of tape. Again, HSFA, the special code to get a discount on your orders. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and sorry for the little technical glitch we had on the start here. But anyway, we're ready to go into the first week of the season, August 5th. They start playing in Hawaii. The national rankings coming out Monday at noontime. For now, this is Jeff Fisher saying good night and good sports from Southern California. You've been listening to High School Football America, the country's premier weekly national high school football talk show.